Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. The Vobes Show channel here. If you've just tuned in for the first time, or you've seen some of these videos where I've been out and about in the countryside, and I've been using this channel as a temporary channel because the older channel had been, what should we say, banned. I'd been kicked off it for a week. Well, it seemed a few days ago that I was back. And it was all very grand. It was all lovely. I was back and everything was rosy, and I'd put up a video only this morning, only to discover that a video that had been on the channel for some time, that before the last strike that's just happened, suddenly has caused problems at YouTube headquarters, and they've thought, oh, wait a minute, we can't have that video, and they've kicked that one off now, and me for another ban. So I'm now banned for 2 weeks, it would seem, off the Richard Vobes channel. But this channel is still here. So although the Richard Vobes channel has the 200-odd thousand subscribers, which has been growing over the last 19 months, and thank you very much to everybody who did, then those, I think we've got about 11,000 subscribers here. This channel is not monetized at all. There's no money coming in, so I'm back to relying on donations and people's kindnesses, and people have been kind, and thank you so much for that. It's very kind of you. I'm not too worried about the money. The money will take care of itself. And I'm beginning now to think that the solution to all of this is probably, as it seems to be, the interviews that cause the problem with YouTube, that somebody says, maybe it's me, maybe it's a question I've posed to my interviewee, or whether it's the interviewee themselves who say something which is perhaps not the best way of putting things, that causes YouTube a bit of a problem. So it may be that the interviews will now go on Rumble and Odyssey, on those channels that I have, and we'll shove them there, that I'll promote them on the YouTube channels and say, oh, by the way, I've just had this fascinating interview with about such and such, go and find it, here's the link, and that might be the only way to do it. And then keep these channels, mainly the Richard Vobes one when it comes back in a couple of weeks, which will be towards the end of July, for my monologues. And maybe the Vobes Show, this channel, maybe perhaps we ought to start thinking about where we go and the kind of conversations that we ought to be having, the narratives that perhaps I ought to be following. Maybe this is the universe working in a mysterious way, because the universe does. And maybe it's guiding me, saying, look, let's not worry too much about the negative things. Let's look at the more positive things and perhaps get on with the solutions. Maybe it is time to get that land. You'll notice I have been on the land recently, and what an amazing time it was. And to be honest, it didn't put me off. In fact, it made me more certain that this is the life that I need to do. And I think a lot of people will resonate with. So it may be that is the journey that I'm going to start to do a lot more of. But of course, these things take a bit of time. You've got to get the land, you've got to pay for the land, you've got to get on the land, and then you've got to somehow build and do the things that you need to do and start growing and having the animals and the thriving and meeting the other interesting people who are already doing it and get help and support, etc., etc. So there is a lot to do, but maybe that is the direction that this channel will do. And rather than the sort of the negative stuff. I mean, I have tried to move away from all of that. But maybe we've got to follow the journey. We'll see. The main point of this ramble is to say that the other channel is now off for another 2 weeks. So in total, that's probably 3 weeks, isn't it? Pretty much, with a couple of videos in the middle there, just as we were getting back together again. But who knows? By the time we get to the end of that period, the AI thing may have gone through the channel and decided there were a few more videos it didn't like and given me the boot. What can you do? Anyway, in the meantime, I will do my best to keep going. Thank you for watching, and I will chat to you soon.